back to the Sunday Footy Show. Let's go back to Etihad Stadium Friday night. The Saints took on Fremantle. Ross Lyon coaching against his old club, and Matty Lloydie did a darn good job. He
did. It was great it was a great night of theatre. But Ross Lyon, he brings authority to his teams, and they struggle at Etihad Stadium, but they got the job done. Too quick for St Kilda in the end. Jack Anthony kicked a couple, Cozzy kicked 3 for the Saints. And in terms of Supercoach points, Sandilands, a lot of hit-outs, but still they don't win enough clearances, and Jones tagged Hill most of the night. So it was a pretty even sort of game throughout the night. No real dominant players, although Hill did come into it after half-time. And here's some of the highlights. Just Ryan Crowley had the job on Del Santo, did a super job. And Zach Clark, I think that he's an unbelievable find for Fremantle. He could be like Nat Nui throughout the rest of his career. And just the turnovers, Croft, that was really the only way St Kilda were winning goals, with Ross Lyon dropping a man behind the footy. Yeah,
it could be a really defining win for Fremantle to come over when their backs are against the wall. Their form hadn't been too bad, but Ross Lyon, knowing intimately the St Kilda list, where to put players, what to do, how to go about it, it was just a really big confidence builder for them. And it was always going to be tough coming up against your old coach who knows everything about you. So it was certainly going to be a great match, and a lot of mistakes, as you did say, but I don't think St Kilda would lose a great deal out of it. They fought very hard, but Big Sandilands, good player, but does he hit to advantage enough, Nathan Brown?
Well, no. I think it's more the Fremantle midfielders getting to where he wants to hit it. I think they get an armchair right. I think they need to work harder in and under. But, Lloydie, I want to ask you about Ross Lyon. The 2 big moves he made was Del Santo was tagged by Crowley, so obviously he thinks that Del Santo is the most effective St Kilda player in the midfield. And also Sam Fisher was shut down after half-time as that loose man. Only had 5 touches after half-time.
Yeah, Chris Mayne did the job there. He kicked a couple of goals himself, but just didn't allow him time and space, and Ross Lyon just did it really well. I thought that he gets that man behind the ball, Scoob, and then the Pagans paddock, the space over the top, they were too quick for Fremantle.
And they went through the middle, didn't they, Freo? A lot through the middle.
Risk-taking. And do you think the sides coming up against St Kilda going forward will say, let's go in with the plan that Ross Lyon had for Fremantle?
I think so. Yeah, I think they will. And here's some of my vision, which I was meant to be up in the big screen for, but
you've gone off early.
I've gone early, but that's one of the highlights I wanted to show of Stephen Hill. He was brilliant after half-time. He had 19 possessions, and Jack Anthony, he's playing for his life. Nathan Fyfe pulled out before the game, and Jack Anthony got his chance. Zach Dawson, he tries hard, but just lost sight of Cozzy. He turns his back on the play a bit too often. He's playing some good footy, Brownie.
He certainly is. Cozzy kicked 3. Certainly a great effort for Fremantle Dockers. I mean, they hadn't beaten the Saints in 8 of the previous encounters. To come to Melbourne, where they don't play great football, to knock off the Saints, who had just gone the back of 2 good wins, I thought was a fantastic effort, and it just shows this Fremantle group, to win away from home against a really good St Kilda outfit at Etihad Stadium, they're going places.
Yeah, and we'll find out about the Dockers this week when they take on the Blues, which will be a ripper. Clancy Pearce, I like the way he's been going about it. And your man, Bill, Tendai Mzungu, he just had so much run. He can play on a really good player. He can stop their influence, but he can also push hard and get on the end of it. And there's Clancy Pearce slotting it straight through.
He's a big boy. We spoke about him last week, Clancy Pearce. He hurts blokes. And Mzungu, who is he kicks goals. He runs and runs. I thought they were really good and a good win. And St Kilda would be very disappointed with this. This is one they should have won at home in front of their crowd. And they should have won this game.
Yeah, it's all about efficiency. Once you get the footy, what can you do with it? Can you hit the scoreboard? Can you get it through the goals? And just too many mistakes. And I know Scott Waters was happy with the intent, the way they went about it, but the way that they used the footy, he was really disappointed with. So no doubt they'll work on their skill level this week and try and refocus and get it right.
It was a great win for Fremantle. And Lloydie, you've picked something up on Stephen Hill on the night.
Yeah, Brownie. Nathan Fyfe pulled out of the game, arguably Fremantle's best player. And in the past, when Stephen Hill gets tagged and he's out of the game early, he doesn't bounce back. And that's something that I was ecstatic with, or Ross Lyon would be with Stephen Hill. And in the first half, he had just 9 disposals, and he looked a bit spooked by his opponent, Clinton Jones. Just want to have a look at some of the vision of Stephen Hill. Drops his head on that occasion. Should have gone harder just because of the pressure that Clinton Jones applies. Watch this after this. The contest, Jones pins him down, doesn't let him get up off the ground. That was a tactic of Jones just to stop his run. The pressure of Millerer, he didn't want the contact there, Stephen Hill, and I was a bit concerned of what he was going to produce for the rest of the night. But you know what? He went into half-time and decided, I've just got to run Jones off his legs. And here's Stephen Hill at the top of the screen. Jones and other St Kilda players back there. He just wanted to run harder. If we roll the tape, he just ran harder than those two players. He ran past them, and you see McAvoy, he's not going to catch him, so he knows he can take him on. And look at this for a pass to Jack Anthony. He didn't even lead there, and hits the pass. And then this is Mundy takes a mark, and Stephen Hill, he's in the corner of our screen here, and he just runs off. Jones just can't go with him once again. Just for leg speed, he was too good, Simon.
The last quarter was unbelievable.
Yeah, 19 disposed after half-time.
Yeah.
Okay, Matty, make your way back to us.
Oh, there's a swap. Oh,
yes, there's a straight
the tag team.
Wow.
into N. Brown. What are you going to tell us, Brownie, in front of the analysis screen?
It was a big moment in the last quarter, and it was only 6 points of difference. The game was still up for grabs. Jaron Geary, who I reckon has been one of St Kilda's best players this year, and he was really good the other night, but made a poor decision in pushing up the defensive press to go to McPhee. So we roll the tape in the last quarter. McPhee gets the ball on the wing, right here. There's McPhee, gets the ball. Geary makes a decision to come off Mzungu. Here he is here. This is his man right here. He hasn't left enough time for Blake to get over to him. He needs to be staying on Mzungu. He needs to make McPhee run the ball the length. Look at the score. 6 points of difference, 7 minutes to go. The ball goes over the top. Mzungu kicks a goal, which puts them 12 points up and pretty much ices the game for him. But Geary, as I said, really good player on the night. But that decision then, he needed to know he had no support behind him. He needed to let McPhee run with the ball, go back, get Mzungu, and kick a goal.
Good work.
Is that how you say Mzungu?
Yeah.
Don't ask me, ask Bill. He knows it.
Tendai, Mzungu. It's been great. Hey, well done, Nath, again. You got any more?
That's it, mate.
Lordy?
No, just got the
I
votes,
had
Bill.
one, and bloody dogs couldn't get upstairs. But this is for... This is for the AFL and the umpires because you get 30 seconds when you take a mark. Is that right?
That's right.
926 goals.
Well, they changed the rule because I was taking too long, Bill.
That's right, you're thrown in the air and all that. Well, Jack Anthony twice on Friday night took a mark, he goes back, he throws the ball in the air. I don't know why he does that. I timed it in the Croc Media box at 41 seconds and 43 seconds.
You have a stopwatch.
And that's not on. That's not on. It's 30 seconds. The umpires have got to be onto that with Jack Anthony.
Bit of me time for Jack.
Well, no doubt keep an eye on that now. You've alerted everyone to it, Bill. Your votes, Lloyd.
Yeah, the votes, Stephen Hill was the game breaker. He was the one player out in the ground with leg speed, which just split the game open. Michael Barlow just keeps finding the footy, 30 disposals. Lenny Hayes was St Kilda's best. 7 clearances, 9 tackles with his 30. And Bill, you gave him votes last week. Mzungu, he had 2 goals and was another game breaker for the Dockers.
Good work, Tendai.
And the month ahead, Fremantle, what a big game against Carlton on Friday night. Gold Coast, Port, Hawthorn, a couple of winnable games there. And St Kilda, they've got to beat Melbourne next week if there to be any chance of making the 8.
Today, Damien Barrett speaks with Fremantle coach Ross Lyon. Here they are.
You made a massive decision to leave your job at St Kilda to come here. Have there been moments of self-doubt?
Look, it was a significant decision. There's no shying away from that. It is a big move, and I'm only human, and probably to leave behind significant player relationships, and in particular with the core players is huge. But they get a wonderful opportunity with a new coach, and maybe it's what they needed, and certainly I get a wonderful opportunity here, and football clubs are very resilient, but when you come in there's a lot of great people in all clubs, so you know what's exciting, getting to understand Matthew Pavlich and Aaron Sand and see their work ethic and see how driven they are and work with them.
When you reflect on what happened, and particularly that week, would you have done things differently?
Personally, I wouldn't change a thing. I don't think I could have done anything more to expedite things. Maybe should have bought... Not should have. Yeah, no, to be frank, as I assess it, based on the circumstances given, I'd do exactly the same thing again.
Comments were made in that week that you were deceitful and dishonest, that your reputation was permanently dented. That, to many people, was an unfair assessment of what happened. I mean, how did you respond to that?
I'm glad some people think it was unfair.
I think a lot of people did.
There's a couple that crossed the line, no doubt, and I think everyone alludes to Gerard Whateley. In my view, he's factually incorrect and really defamatory. So, but outside of that, I think we all move on, and I'm pretty comfortable.
Ross, was it security over and above anything else which drove that decision?
Yeah, look, I wanted to go into too many specifics, but certainly security was a component. But there was lots of things that went into the melting pot that I don't think regurgitating specifics and relationships and time frames and contracts and offers and disappointments and all of those things serve any purpose for anyone, except to say I'm really happy, you know, and I know St Kilda Football Club's really happy and moved on, so both parties are happy.
How long will it take you to have these Fremantle players playing your way?
When I was an assistant at Sydney and then senior coach at St Kilda, I felt personally it took 12 months to really know the list intimately. As it sits now, we are working really well. But, I mean, we'd have to defy history the last 100 years to win a premiership this year.
This club made a huge investment in you. You made a huge investment in it. Does the investment need to reap a premiership for it to work?
Well, that's the aim, clearly, isn't it? I mean, that's self-evident.
So 4 years is, in your judgment, a realistic aim to...
No, I never said that. That was just the term offered. So it wasn't 4 years and make sure the premiership cup's sitting there. You know, you said with Mick Malthouse, it took 10 years.
What excites you most about the list you've got this year?
The most exciting thing, I'm still finding out, you know. We understand where we need to go and build the talent through the midfield and develop players. You know, Nathan Fyfe and Stephen Hill and Hayden Ballantyne and those types, we need to turn them into our Swan Pendlebury Thomas. You need to develop those elite mids. The players have been fantastic in their desire to embrace where we want to head and what needs to be done, in our view, to be successful in the AFL and its current climate. And there's been some really good signs, far from being perfect, but yeah, we're really optimistic. And I feel like I'm building a really strong relationship quickly with this group. And, you know, by round 4, we want to be playing some of our best footy and, you know, it'll be, you know, we want to play with great effort. You know, it won't matter who we play when we go to Melbourne. We're turning up to play and play a fierce brand of football.
Damien Barrett there with Ross Lyon. Billy gets that look in his eye with Ross Lyon sometimes that he means business when he says something, doesn't he?
He's a street fighter, Syme. A question for the panel. Is he the best coach in the AFL right now? Fremantle are 3-1. We know what he did with St Kilda. Shane? Who is?
I think he's the best at getting the most out of ordinary type of players, if that makes sense.
Yeah, right, group.
Yes. Matthew?
I'd go with, I'm loving Johnny Worsfold at the moment, so I'd say Worsfold. The way he's changed his team.
Couldn't agree more. Come from last to preliminary final, 4-0, Johnny Worsfold.
Right on.